Greenville, South Carolina is on every single best place to live list in America right now. It's got the award-winning downtown, the incredible food scene, and the proximity to the mountains. Also, cost of living that makes people from New York, California, Florida pack their bags overnight. But let's be real for a second. No city is perfect. And if you're scouring the internet at midnight or maybe later right now, thinking about moving your entire life here, you aren't getting the whole story. You're getting the tourism brochure. Today, I'm giving you the 4 hidden flaws of living in Greenville, South Carolina, from a local who loves this city but refuses to sugarcoat it. Now, as we go through these, you're probably thinking, hey, this really doesn't sound so bad. I really do think I want to move there. Scan this QR code that pops up on the screen because our real estate team, the Aubree Lewis group, has some free resources to help you make your decision, decide the best place for you to land here, and make the relocation process to Greenville easy. But for now, let's get into it. Okay, so first thing, we're going to talk about traffic and infrastructure. Flaw number 1, there it is. Something you will experience within 15 minutes of arriving here is that infrastructure. Greenville was originally built as a charming mid-sized textile hub. It was never designed to hold the massive influx of thousands of people moving here every single month. Because of that, our roads are playing a massive game of catch up. Case in point, Woodruff Road. If you move here, this street will become the bane of your existence. It holds every major amenity you want, from Costco, Trader Joe's, Target, every restaurant imaginable. But driving down it between 4 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. or anytime on a Saturday will test your patience like none other. And it's not just Woodruff Road. I-85 and 385 meet at a massive interchange that locals here call Malfunction Junction. They've spent years widening it, changing the exits, but during rush hour, it's still a headache. But if you're moving here from places like New Jersey or Atlanta, you might laugh and say, that's nothing. The thing is, our back roads and secondary corridors are getting choked out too. If you pick a neighborhood in, say, Five Forks or Simpsonville, thinking you have an easy 15-minute commute downtown, add about 10 minutes to the estimate during the school rush. And speaking of those secondary roads, many of them are filled with potholes and have names that change every few blocks. Many of the roads here, like Georgia Road in Simpsonville, actually follow the same trails that the Native Americans walked for hundreds of years, and things were built out from there. This led to our road system looking like someone dropped a huge bowl of spaghetti onto a table and called it a map. But it's not all that bad. Outside of rush hour, getting up and down 385 from downtown to Simpsonville will take you no more than 30 minutes. And honestly, most things shouldn't take you more than 30 minutes because of strategically placed shopping areas around town. For most of our small towns, there will be a shopping district not far from the quaint historic city centers filled with local businesses. So unless you just like the traffic or you devoutly shop at Costco, you really don't have to drive around Woodruff Road. Most areas have everything you actually want or need within 10 to 15 minutes of where you actually live. Now, I'm going to talk more about those areas here in just a second, so stick with me. The next flaw is something nobody warns you about until you're making one of those Costco runs to buy Claritin in bulk. We have a seasonal phenomenon here that I like to call the yellow blizzard or pollen apocalypse. Greenville absolutely lives up to its name, with a ton of green spaces and parks, trees everywhere, and its proximity to the Blue Ridge Mountains. All of that sometimes makes it feel like we're living in the pollen capital of the world. Springtime makes you seriously consider going into the car wash business when you walk outside in the morning and your car is suddenly a new shade of yellow. But thankfully, that late March to early May window is really the worst of the pollen. After that, you're free to enjoy all of the natural beauty of South Carolina's summers. That is, if you can handle some humidity. Because from late June through August, Greenville transforms into a literal sauna. Because we are nestled right below the Blue Ridge Mountains, the humidity gets trapped in the kind of bowl of the upstate. It is a thick, heavy, step outside and instantly sweat kind of heat. If you love a crisp, dry climate, then South Carolina's summer is going to be a massive shock to your system. Another thing to keep in mind is your AC bill will definitely go up in the summer, but it'll also be incredibly reasonable for the spring and fall months, and we'll talk more about the cost of living here in just a minute. But speaking of spring and fall, they really are beautiful here. I'm talking a perfect 75-degree average high from about mid-March to mid-May, and the same in September and October. And the winters are mild compared to most places. Now, we do get a snow day every couple of years, and anything more than an inch will shut down the entire city. You Northerners are probably rolling your eyes right now, but hey, enjoy it. Grab a cardboard box, slide down a hill, and tell everyone that'll listen that this is nothing compared to what you used to walk to school in. Speaking of walking to school, though, this is the next flaw. It's a big one for anyone moving from a major metropolitan area to what I call a walkability illusion here. If you spend a weekend here as a tourist, you will leave thinking Greenville is one of the most pedestrian-friendly cities in America. And inside the downtown bubble, it absolutely is. You can walk from your hotel to a 5-star dinner, through a gorgeous park and over a suspension bridge. And if you want to, you can catch a ride on a rickshaw or even one of Greenville's brand new trolleys. Now, per Michael, our video producer, you can also fire up the Lamborghinis or ride a bike on the Swamp Rabbit Trail if you want to get to the West End, or all the way up to Traveler's Rest without a car, though that will be quite a haul. You'll also notice that we don't have any e-bikes or scooter rentals downtown because truthfully, we don't need them with the size of downtown. But the second you step outside that bubble or look at the surrounding suburbs, that walkability completely evaporates. Greenville is structurally an auto-centric, sprawling county. We have a ton of master plan communities like Hollingsworth Park or O'Neill Village that are beautifully walkable inside their own gates. You can walk to a neighborhood coffee shop or a pocket park, but if you want to leave the neighborhood to go to the grocery store or grab dinner down the road, you are forced to get back into your car. And the further you get away from downtown, the less public transit there is available. You're hard pressed to find a bus stop aside from a few major thoroughfares, and even the ones you do see don't run very often and don't take you very far. Now, some people that I've helped relocate here actually do utilize these bus routes to get around, and that's something our team will definitely talk through with you as we help you relocate to this area. Just know that if that's you, it will narrow our radius of housing options pretty significantly. All of this to say, when you make your trip to decide if Greenville is really the place for you, I implore you to venture outside of downtown and see what it's really like in places like Simpsonville, Greer, Traveler's Rest. That's the only way to get the full picture of what life will actually be like when you do move here. And if you want to know more about these areas, these suburbs, to see which ones pique your interest the most, our team put together a circle sheet that breaks down the different amenities each of these areas have around Greenville. I want you to be able to pinpoint the areas that you're interested in before coming to this area. All you have to do is scan the QR code and ask for the circle sheet, and we'll email it over to you. So, right here. Flaw number 4 is the misconception around cost of living. Yes, compared to Austin, Seattle, New Jersey, South Carolina property taxes are incredibly low, and overall housing is just cheaper. But the gap is closing fast. Over the last 5 years, Greenville's housing market has exploded. What used to buy you a sprawling, 4-bedroom home with an acre of land a few miles from downtown now buys you a 2-bedroom fixer-upper in a transitionary area. Or it pushes you 25 minutes out into the suburbs. This is actually a direct result of the 2008 housing crisis when all the development stopped. Honestly, it took a while for developers to start building again. And then when Greenville really started booming, about 10 years ago, the demand for housing in Greenville was much higher than the inventory we had on the market. But man, did the developers respond to that? Boom! You see it everywhere. New neighborhoods have been popping up around Greenville County. You can see it for yourself, and you just have to pull up Google Earth and look at all of the big sections of red dirt. At this point, 2/3 of our housing market is new construction homes, and we're actually getting to a point where housing prices are starting to flatten out as the inventory is finally there to meet the demand. If you want the most up-to-date numbers on that, you can catch us on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the Greenville Gab, where I'm live answering your questions and giving real estate market and Greenville development updates. Or you can always reach out to us directly. Our team would love to answer your questions and, of course, help make your relocation easy. And if you want to know more about those other costs of living, from groceries to utilities, Michael and I show you our actual bills to give you a real-world example of cost of living in Greenville. So here's that video right here.